Being stuck at home all day, having no idea when this is going to end, and watching the news go from bad to worse can make quarantining really stressful. According to mental health experts, it's also the perfect storm for feeling powerless and anxious, and more susceptible to unhealthy thoughts.
Well, anxiety and fear thrives on uncertainty, and we are certainly in a very uncertain state, especially with the unknown end to what's happening right now. So this is triggering a lot of anxiety and stress for most of us out there who are experiencing this. And the reality is that when we're feeling anxious, our fight or flight response is being triggered, which is there to protect us. Problem is that some of us are focusing too much on the things that we cannot control rather than the things that we actually can control. That leads us to the doom and gloom conclusion.
The truth is, we might have to live like this for a while, but that doesn't mean we have to be stressed out or anxious about it the entire time. So with Dr. Yip's help, we came up with a list of a few habits that can ease anxiety and help de-stress and de-escalate the situation. The first, and admittedly the hardest, is get dressed.
It's really important. I think it's so funny because a lot of people are saying, well, now that we're just doing video conferencing, we just need to get dressed from the stomach up. However, think about it, right? We still want to get up and feel good. What allows us to feel good is self-care, which means that if we are dressing for the part, then we will feel the part. If we are going to stay in our pajamas all day, then we're just going to feel like we want to put the covers over ourselves. So it's important to not just feel the part, dress the part, do the part. If you're feeling it, doing it, and thinking it, then that is another buffer against depression and anxiety.
And if you're going through all the trouble of putting pants on, it better be for a reason. Which brings me to number 2, establish a routine.
So even though you may not be in control of what's happening in the world outside your space, you are in complete control over what happens in your space. So maintaining the routines, because that allows us predictability, that gives us consistency, that helps us to know what is going to happen next. Maintaining those consistent routines and structure is hugely important right now.
Now that you've established your routine, give yourself permission to worry, but don't let that fear take over.
What we do for people who are ruminating over their fears is what we call 15-minute worry time. So what that means is literally taking paper and pencil and writing out for 15 minutes what you're worried about.
Number 4 is be social. Keeping a physical distance from people doesn't mean that you shouldn't be talking to your friends or your coworkers. In fact, it probably means you should be talking to them more. And technology allows us to do as much or as little of that as we want. For me, that's meant talking to at least 2 coworkers after my team's morning meeting. Because if I was in the office, I'd probably be getting coffee or shooting the breeze with a couple of them. And that also means either FaceTiming or scheduling another couple of calls for fun every hour and a half to 2 hours, because I'd probably be meandering around the newsroom or, I don't know, talking about nothing to somebody. So schedule in your procrastination. And I hear you, being social isn't gonna fill all the newly added hours of free time in your day. So number 5 is to turn your New Year's resolutions into quarantine resolutions.
We have been in a place where, everyone's just so busy. And I've heard so many people, myself included, who have said, well, if only I had more time, if only there were more hours in the day, right? Well, here you go. You've got plenty of time now. You've got plenty of hours in the day for you to be at home. So finish those projects that you have put on the back burner. Read that book that's been on the shelf for many years. Start that hobby that you've been wanting to pick up. Learn a new skill, whether it's learning a new instrument or learning a new language.
These are just a few ways to help stave off anxiety and make the best of the time that you have. And the goal here is to preserve your mental health. So if you're having trouble adjusting, consult a professional.